real careers, real journeys. Instead of a presentation today, we're going to explore Daryl's personal career journey. So you guys have an important role to play as well. We'll need you guys to vote, react, and you guys also get to decide what happens next today. So before we get started, we encourage you guys to submit questions for our speaker to answer live later on today by scanning that QR code on the screen or entering that code underneath it at menti.com. So when you guys think about choosing a career pathway, what matters most to you right now? And remember that there are no wrong answers. We're probably still getting some people joining in, but these are our options. The work seems interesting to me. It's something I can be good at doing, how much it pays, work-life balance, and what my parents think I should do. So I'll give you a little bit longer to put in your answers here. Daryl, can you see the options on your phone?
Yes.
Awesome. Just so we can chat about them when the results come in. The work seems interesting. I think my biggest one is work-life balance. It's super important for me. Definitely, it's got to be interesting, right? If you're going to do it, how much it pays, another big one, big factor that comes into play. Awesome. So let's meet our guest for today's episode. Daryl is a driver for XPO and recently achieved 4 million consecutive safe driving miles. That's awesome. Daryl is the fourth driver in our company's history to reach this major milestone, the equivalent of safely driving to the moon and back 8 times. Wow, that puts things into perspective. So, Daryl, can you help us get to know you more personally?
Been working for XPO for 41 years.
Wow.
I'm from a family of truck drivers. My father was a truck driver. My two brothers were truck drivers. Never achieved what I've achieved, but they left a legacy for me to follow. You to be safe. The stories they tell me how they bagged into something, I've learned from that. I've learned from other drivers. I love barbecuing. I love being with my family, and my grandkids. Most of all, I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy driving. I enjoy interacting with other drivers.
That's awesome. And I
And
think to me, I'm not trying to cut you off, but to me, it feels like you guys have your own little world out there. Like,
yo, you in your own world. What makes me happy is that someone trusts me to take over $100,000 worth of equipment down the road with freight in it that's important to other people, other neighborhoods, for me to take it to a spot to be delivered. Someone trusts me that much to do that, not to damage their freight. Uh, has come a long ways. It has done stuff that really amazes me is how to keep the freight from being damaged. And me being it by example and talking to other drivers, telling them, you crash. Don't have accidents. It's not good. And so I think we're doing a great job of keeping people from people trained up at work, always having meetings on safety and being safe. Help us keep us on our toes.
yeah, super important. So today you're going to talk with us about your career as an XPO driver. Can you give us a short definition of that career and what service you provide?
Well, daytime line haul driver. Work LTL is XPO is a LTL, less truckload. We have not just one truckload of freight in a trailer. We have different types of freight in our trailers. We can have screws in there. We can have mattresses in there. We can have wheelchairs in there. We have all kinds of freight that's in these trailers. So we are less than a truckload of freight. And my job is to take my trailers to Ohio, and a guy from Pennsylvania will come and take my trailers, and I'll take his trailers, and I'll go back to Indianapolis. He'll go back to Pennsylvania, and ready to move on from there. And my job basically is to go home safely and let everybody else around me go home safely. And I think that's very much important.
That's super important. It's super important. So this is Daryl's view of the world as an XPO driver. But before we talk about jobs, Daryl, can you tell us what this world feels like for you?
What feels for me,
What this world feels like for you?
it feels great. Really living a dream. I have my own truck. I'm respected in the industry. I see drivers see me and they see that I've achieved this and they say, "Man, I don't know how you did it, but congratulations." It makes me feel good. In my heart, it makes me really feel good. That's how I see it right now.
Yeah.
I really enjoy my job.
It's so important and it's awesome to see and hear. I mean, you talked about the legacy that you had to pick up and you carried it on, right? And you're leaving a tradition not only for yourself, but for the ones that came before you. So that's so awesome to hear that and to hear your story. So, what words come to mind when you think of a career as an XPO driver? So we've talked a little bit about what this world feels like, but what are some words and maybe some phrases that come to mind? I think of long hours. I think of a lot of road, lots of work. Yes.
I think of lots of money. You get
That's
paid
awesome.
real good.
That's awesome. No, let's hear more about that. Like, has that obviously more pay probably comes with the more years in the industry, right?
Yes. And XPO though, you can be at top pay in 3 years.
Wow.
So when you at top pay, you're getting paid with everybody in the same amount of pay. So you're making good money. I put all my kids through college. I got 6 kids. All of them went to college. XPO did this for me. It's good money. It's solid money, and it's not fast money. It's good money. So you're gonna get out here and just willy nilly throw it away because you worked hard for that money.
Yeah. That you worked for, I was gonna say. A lot of traveling. What does the travel look like for you?
Well, I'm about 250 miles one way, 250 miles back the next day. So it's same day. I'm home every day, which I love being an XPO. You're home every day. You're home on holidays. I'm not on the road sleeping in the truck. I'm at home sleeping with my wife. I get to go to my kids' events. I get to do a whole lot of stuff because I'm with a XPO. I'm with a carrier that really cares about people being home. They want you to be home every day. They don't want you to be out on the road or get a hotel room. Only, only if you have to get a hotel room, and that's because you broke down or something. You ran out of hours. Um, got rules and regulations that you must follow with the DOT, the police department, and their safety. They for everybody's safety. If you follow them and you do what's right, it's really no problem.
Mhm. Awesome. All right, so what should we explore first, students? Go ahead and drop a pin on the bingo card right here. And wherever the most votes land, we will start our journey. We have like 4 seconds so you guys can read these. Let's just go ahead and start with walk us through a typical day.
But my typical day is I get up at 3:30 in the morning and I up and I like to pray before I go to work and I do a
Yeah.
little exercises and then I come to
Yeah.
work and I like to get to work about a half hour earlier so I can relax and study my mind and make sure everything's in order before I get in my truck and go on my run.
Oh, awesome. I'm interested, are there any skills or certifications that are helpful for drivers?
Yes, at XPO, we have to have, on our license, we have to have doubles, triple and doubles. We have to have tanker endorsements. We have to have hazmat endorsements,
Wow.
in which you learn all this stuff because XPO will train you, teach you to make sure that you stay up to date on all the equipment, everything you need. It's not a fly by night company. It's a company that really wants you to stay on top of your job. And any tools that you need, they're willing to give it to you. And
Yeah,
all you got to do is let them know. And if it's in their power, they will teach it.
that's awesome. We had a question on what tools do you use?
We use handhelds. What we have is a handheld here, and it tells you your hours. It tells you the drive time that you have left, how much time you got.
Okay.
And that's basically what the equipment that we use,
Okay.
besides the tractor trailers. And
Mm-hmm.
you usually have one tractor that you share with another person. The person that works nights, he will share the truck with a person that works days. And all we doing is swapping.
Mm, pretty neat to know. All right, so on Tallo.com, you can take a career interest assessment that shows how your interests are connected to potential careers. So Tallo does this by aligning each career with different personality types that are listed on this slide. So students, go ahead and take a moment and choose which personality traits you think thrive best for a career as an XPO driver. So we've talked a little bit about who Daryl interacts with. I think investigative's a great choice. I think even social sometimes. Even though you are on the road, right? Do you feel like having those conversational skills are important too?
Oh yes, but before you even get on the road, I've met my best friends. I met my wife at work,
Oh,
and we've been
wow.
married 30. We've been married 34 years. I met her at work,
Wow.
and yeah, and I got my best friends. They don't work for XPO anymore, but they're still my best friends, and we've been best friends for life, years. And communicate with each other, and you will meet some good people. You will meet some
Yeah,
interesting people.
that's awesome.
XP, what I like about XPO too is that this is a career you can start as a driver and still go to school and become a terminal manager, even become the vice president of the company. There's people that have been terminal managers that started off being a dock worker, started off being a driver, and then being vice president of the company. It's really amazing the career that you can have working for XPO, working for this company. They give you that opportunity, and they will teach you. They will pay for you to go to school if that's what you want to do.
That's awesome. So out of these types, which ones do you think thrive the most?
Convenience.
Yeah,
You see what else you got here? Observant, data driven. That's a good one too.
awesome.
Innovative, because you can always come up with something that's going to help the company. The company will listen to you.
That's awesome.
Uh, Informative. They inform you all the time.
Yeah. How's data kind of into this career, you think? How does that kind of tie in?
Well, you're going to have paperwork.
Okay.
The paperwork has to be entered into computers so you can have the right paperwork. For instance, I have hazmat that's on my trailers right now, and I have to know about this data that's in this sheet of paper. I need to know what it is, what it relate, what's the dangers of it, and what do I need to do to protect myself and others. And
Mm.
if the data is not right, then I have the wrong information, and you can be in trouble. And you really need to have the right information to go down the road and be safe.
What is hazmat?
Hazardous material. For instance, batteries in a car has acid in the batteries. The acid is hazmat. Chlorine that you put in your pool, a big bulk of chlorine is hazmat.
Wow.
Uh, be hazmat. It's they can be flammable or corrosive or that you can be eaten. You can't have. I can't put in food that you don't want to eat that. You don't want to smell gasoline when you're eating your food.
Mm-mm.
So you need to know these things before you put it on a trailer.
Yeah. Awesome. That's good to know. Good information. All right. So everyone's career path is different. Daryl, go ahead and take a look at these images. And we are curious to know which one of these best describes your journey.
The man with his hands in the air saying, "Thank you."
That's awesome.
It's been a journey. I don't have a high school diploma. I have a GED, and I've come a long ways. And son told me he wrote me a text once, and he said he's so proud of me because where I've come from and what I've achieved, and he just don't know how I did it. And I'm saying, you living the dream now, you know.
Mhm.
So uh, it's my hands in the air, just being happy, just being able to achieve this and enjoy what I'm doing. I really enjoy it.
That is so awesome to hear because some nowadays I feel like that's kind of hard to find sometimes, right?
Yeah, you can find. Oh, my father told me once. He said, if he said you got a good job. He said when you get mad and you want to quit, just hold off for 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks you still want to quit. Go ahead and quit. But when the 2 weeks is up, I ain't mad no more. That's why I'm still here.
Yeah, so awesome. All right, time for a pop quiz, everyone. Every career has obstacles, as you guys probably know. But which of these challenges do you think showed up in Daryl's journey? So these are some of the options that we have. Didn't feel talented enough. Got overwhelmed. It was always easy. I don't think that. Not sure of next steps. Felt behind others. I think not sure of next steps is a pretty good one. Got overwhelmed. Which one of these did you encounter, Daryl?
Uh,
All of them?
uh, feel talented. At one time, I didn't feel like I was talented enough. I just had to slow down and take a breath. It wasn't always easy. Realizing it wasn't what they expect. I found out that they really just wanted me to come to work. It just come to work and do the job. They will pay me to come to work. Amazing. They want to pay me to come do something that I like to do, and that's drive.
That's so awesome. Great advice. All right, so along the path to your career, you probably needed some kind of training and support. I kind of about what do you think helped you the most? Did you have a mentor that you could refer to beforehand? Talk to us about that.
Friends that I we became friends as we drove trucks for XPO. We ran together, we followed each other, and we helped each other out. It made you sleepy, man, pull over, you stop and get a cup of coffee. Uh, my mentor really says the safety supervisor. Right, he pretty much was a good super to me because he would call me and say, "Hey man, how you doing? Everything okay? You sure you staying safe, man? You almost there, of that nature." I really never thought I was educated enough to keep the job, but as time went on, they taught us and they informed us, and I found out that I can do this. The training train every month, once a month. They always training. Morning we gonna have a training class on fire extinguishers, fires, how to put fires out, uh, things that you really need.
Yeah, awesome. And you talked about it a little bit earlier on, but I did have one question. Like, the thing that I'm most curious about is how do you balance like long road trips? Like, I know sometimes it's got to get tough. Like, got to be like a mental, is it ever like there's like a mental battle going on when you're on those long trips?
Sometimes it, well, okay, when I first started, I used to go to the library and get these CDs, and it'd be books on tape on CDs. And we'll play the CDs. You play a CD all night, and you get caught up in it before you want to be at. Now they got Sirius radio, so you can listen to talk shows, music, anything you want. But at first, it was really those books on those CDs on from the library that kept us going. And drivers, we used to swap them all out. You man, listen to this story. You listen to this. Oh, did you read this one? Did you hear this one? And that kept you going at night when I was working nights. And it's one thing when you're by yourself, you're in charge. There's nobody telling you what to do. You have to make those decisions. You're there. You're the one got to make that decision. But you're so at peace because there's nobody else there. So you can take your time and make sure you're safe.
Right. All right, everyone asked, what will I make? You guys can find this information by going to tallo.com and checking out the Career Navigator. Based on Tallo's Career Navigator, the median US salary for an entry-level position here is 56,000. So your pay can be higher or lower based on location, the experience, and the job fits your work-life balance as well. So all of that factors that impact this income, but money matters, but so do the hours that you work. So the time you get off, the growth opportunities, and whether the job fits your ultimate lifestyle. So would you say these are pretty spot on?
Yes. Start off 50, 56, yes. But you're going to make over 100,000 a year because you're going to make top pay in 3 years. So you're gonna make enough money to take care of yourself. Put your money up in your 401k, invest in yourself. You know, I always like to tell the new drivers that I train, or three bank accounts. Get your money up, and you'll be okay. You, one your bills, and one for savings.
Yeah, awesome. So what can I do to learn more about this career now? Students, we have some options here. Think, yeah, professional to interview is probably a good place to start. Really get to sit down and hear what goes on in their world. Exploring this career on Tallo is also another good option. Um, Learning more about it, would you say that that's probably a good place to start, Daryl, is finding someone who's willing to share their experiences?
Yes. One thing about truck drivers, they don't mind talking to you. You can ask them anything. They will love to tell you their experience on the road and how they doing. That's a good way of learning more about the trucking industry.
Awesome. All right, students, now that you have learned a little more about Daryl's journey, what is the most valuable thing that you have learned so far? Got to hear a little bit about an awesome story and really just kind of goes on in his world. I think of also being able to adapt quickly too. I'm sure, do you guys have like last minute places you guys have to visit or pick up freight, or does that ever happen?
Yeah, it used to, but right now the worstest thing right now is getting caught up in traffic. You have to be sitting there. You have to learn patience. Then you have to learn. Okay, be patient. And you got to be quiet and just calm your mind down because you can't go nowhere. You
Yeah,
can't just get out. You can't just leave the truck. You got to stay there. And right now, that's the biggest fight that I'm having is being patient.
yeah. Life balance, good pay, interested. Yep, awesome. All right, let's see if we have any questions from the students. Okay, do you have a favorite state to drive through?
Uh, I like Ohio. Ohio's a good state. They got good roads. I like Ohio.
Oh, awesome. Approximately how many miles do you drive per day?
570 miles.
Wow, that's every day. It's just normal, normal.
Yeah, but it's only 4.5 hours one way, 4.5 hours back the other way. And you're gonna see different things.
Yeah,
You're gonna see so much everything. When you're driving down the road, you say, I never knew that was over there. I didn't know that house was over. That house got chickens. You're just gonna see something different every day.
yeah. If you could go back in time, all right, we have one more question. What is the biggest misconception about your job? That's a good question.
What's the misconception? That we're mean and don't care about other people. Get out of my way. You know, misconception. We're really not like that. You have people that are like that, but they don't belong in a truck.
I always make sure to let the driver get over. Oh, that nice car. How
Well,
do
well,
you,
thank you.
yes, of course. How do you stay focused when you're stuck in traffic or driving long distance?
Uh, no, I never thought about that. How I stay. I just I'm just trying not to hit nothing or hurt anybody. And I'm listening to the radio a lot. I'm changing the channels. I'm keeping myself busy. I'm chewing gum. I might be on the phone. We have headsets now. It look like we taking orders from McDonald's. You know, us guys, we'll get on a conference call and we'll talk to each other for 3 or 4 hours just
Wow,
to keep our minds going, things going right. My wife may call me, and my kids may call me and talk to me. There's always something to keep you busy.
that's awesome. All right. Last question. If you could go back in time and give career advice to your high school self or middle school self, what would you say?
You did a good job. What would I say to study more? I wish I would have studied a little bit more, and I probably could have been a president of this company. But I enjoy what I'm doing now, and I enjoy helping people. That's the main thing. I really enjoy helping other drivers, new drivers, learn how to drive correctly.
That's awesome. Inspiring too. Daryl, thank you so much for your experience and your knowledge with us today. And students, we also are interested to hear, are you guys more interested about this career? maybe you're less interested, or maybe you're interested in change, but hopefully you still learn something to spark a new idea that you're hoping to pursue. We also ask you guys to rate your experience with us today. If you guys have any more questions, we'll make sure that we get those answered. But Daryl, thank you so much for your time and your knowledge and just for sitting and talking with us today. And students, remember that no two journeys look the same and your path won't be a copy of anyone else's. It will be yours, and that's what's special. So keep staying curious, keep asking questions. No single right way to build a career, only the one that you choose to create. And that's what's important. We will be back with another story from a completely different world because the more paths you see, the more you'll start to see for yourself.